What's going on, guys? Welcome into your energy news beat here on this gorgeous Tuesday, February 2nd, 2021. As always, I am your humble correspondent, Michael Danner, coming to you from an undisclosed location here in Denver, Colorado, joined by the executive producer of the show, the purveyor of the show, and the director and publisher of the world's greatest website, energynewsbeat.com, Stuart Turley. How you doing today?
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood from Bear Country. You gotta love it.
No, and we have a great show for you guys lined up. You can check all that in a bag of chips out to my left here. But first, guys, thank you for subscribing to the world's greatest YouTube channel, Energy News Beat. Smash that like button, as those 16-year-olds YouTubers would say. Also, check out the world's greatest website, energynewsbeat.com. Hit the pesky little notification bell in the corner. It's legit just a stream of consciousness into your veins of energy news. And today was the day you needed. I had to tell Stu, cut out all your stories. We've got earnings on the horizon. We've got a busy show. I'm going to go ahead and start us quickly by covering the U.S. stock market. Top line numbers, just to give you guys an idea, SPY was up 1.3 percentage point, Nasdaq up 1.5 percentage points. A lot of green today, folks. Dow Jones up 1.5 percentage points. Unless you were invested in GameStop, meme stocks get absolutely wiped out. Our boy Dave Portnoy tweeted this morning he sold all of his meme stocks for an estimated loss of about $700,000. So as the broad markets continue to rise and rally off what looks like there's going to be anywhere from a 1.5 to a 1.9 trillion, with a T as I mentioned, stimulus package. Biden met with lawmakers Monday night as congressional Democrats moved toward passing a reconciliation bill without bipartisan support. What that means quickly, reconciliation goes from 60 votes in the Senate all the way now down to a simple majority, which the Democrats had, assuming a 50-50 split with the tie going to Vice President Harris. White House Press Secretary Jen Psaki described the meeting with 10 Republican GOP senators as substantive and progressive. Also on the big tech front, Amazon announces that in quarter three, Andy Jassy will take over as CEO. Jeff Bezos stepping to the executive chairman role come quarter three. That move was actually, I don't want to say expected, but I saw 3 days ago they ran a huge puff piece on Jassy as the Amazon, where he's currently the Amazon Web Services CEO. So it only makes sense that after the puff piece comes out 3 days later, he go ahead and gets the top job. That'll be a nice pay boost for him. Let's move over to the energy side because, boy, choo-choo, it was a good day for crude stocks. 55.07 currently trading at. That's up 2.8 percentage points. Fundamentals roll over great. API just dropped, expecting a nice little draw here back into the curve, 1.6 percentage point, $52 even, just all day round. If you're, I wrote on the Oil Night Over report, I added the song, "The Boys Are Back in Town," because, baby, the Bulls are back for oil. It should, in my opinion, we shouldn't be above 50. So the fact that we're rallying at this point means this could continue to wave. Stu's about to get on a webinar about oil prices. It could be $100 by the time he pops on. That all this analysis will go out the window. Natural gas dropped 0.8 of a percentage point, $2.82. But Natural Gas Intelligence, I always like to read their weather reports. They quoted a major shift in colder weather in the long-range weather outlook sparked a massive rebound in natural gas futures Monday. A double shot of polar air is setting up to sustain strong demand and potential production curtailments because of freeze-offs. So range bound today could be setting up for a nice little pop. Be nice if we could get over $3. Talk about bulls back in town. I hope we hit 450 gas this year, because I'm going to then replay every analyst who said in 2020 oil and just be like, a year late. I'm just gonna be sitting there with the clock on there. But it'd be nice to see that XOP, after a bunch of earnings come out today. We actually have 4 of them, which we'll cover. Up a half a percentage point, 65.95. OIH, which is Oilfield Services, up 7/10 of a percentage point, 165.58. Let's go and look at some of our biggest movers on the downside. BP, we'll cover them. Not a great earnings. They're down 6 percentage points today. Barnwell down 9 percentage points, and New Concept Energy reverted back to the mean. They're down another 20 percentage points. On the upside, some good numbers though. Alliance Resource Partners, they're up 10 percentage points. Battalion, they're up 10 percentage points. Conterra, they're up 11 percentage points. And American Resources Corporation, go America, 34% on the upside, currently trading at $3.37. Stu, internationally, what do we got today?
Oh boy, I was just enjoying your story there, man. Okay, first story out of the block, Michael. Here we go. It is kind of humorous. China launches carbon emissions trading scheme if you pollute, you can buy all the carbon credits you want. Michael, this is what you and I talked about all the time. I know we keep beating it up, but Beijing, China, just launched a carbon trading program Monday designed to lower emissions. All it is it provides provincial governments to set the caps for big businesses to keep polluting and just cough up their checkbooks.
Yeah, I heard the CEO and president of that is Ken Lay and Jeffrey Skilling.
Yes, and so I'm
just kidding. That's a complete joke. As a former CEO and president of Enron, so it's just a joke for those out there. It's not. This is a scam, in my opinion. But
it wouldn't surprise me. Now that being said, we'll have a longer show on that.
So they're just basically trading credits.
It's worse than that. Okay, we're gonna have a longer show on that. So here we go. We're going over to OPEC. We got to keep on a schedule here today. And last month, Saudi energy minister Prince Salman did a great thing. He just said, hey, we're going to slash production by a million barrels a day. Here's where it really comes into play. You and I have said a lot, OPEC does not know what their members are producing. So here it comes. Joe Biden is seeking to reactivate a nuclear agreement, which we've talked about. Iran is already dropping more oil down, and they have said we are going to go to $2 million a barrel more. So that is a major impact. And the other nugget in here is that Does Russia want to take the U.S. shale out again? This article is talking about two major oil price issues. Russia wanted to take Texas oil out, and Iran.
Well, I'll answer your question. Is Russia going after U.S. shale?
Yes. Thank you, Michael. Back to you.
Awesome. And you can check out everything on the International News Desk via the world's greatest website, www.energynewsbeat.com. And we have a busy U.S. earnings desk because we've got 4 out right now. Exxon, ConocoPhillips, BP, Marathon. Give you an idea, though. Exxon, ConocoPhillips, and Marathon all up. BP down a little bit, and we'll start with them. Why? Well, partly because adjusted net income was only $115 million, was down $2.5 billion from a year earlier. But the key is, what did it fall short of? It fell short of analyst expectations of $440 million. Operating cash flow excluding Gulf of Mexico spill payments. That's not good when you're still paying Gulf of Mexico spill payments. A key figure for his investors as it determines the sustainability of dividend payments was much weaker. It fell to $2.4 billion, down from $5.4 billion in the third quarter. Quote out of BP Bernard Looney, tough quarter, clearly, at the end of really a tough year. The full year results will hit hard by COVID. He also mentioned they're not going green, they're just greening. So same here. I'm not getting in shape. I'm just shaving my body hair so it looks like I'm in shape. That's just the same. That's exactly what I'm doing. It's the same thing as greening. So great for them. Let's move over to Marathon, guys. They had a great day. Stock was up 3.9 percentage points. Good for them. They reported fourth quarter income of $192 million, or about 29 cents per diluted share. That includes some net pre-tax benefits of about $851 million. They reported an adjusted loss of $608 million, or about 94 cents loss per diluted share. They did mention, though, part of the reason why you see this percentage up so much, $21 billion Speedway sales targeted to close at the end of the first quarter. Now, that's not necessarily what's hilarious is the reason they include that in their earnings call is because they didn't quite have the best fourth quarter. So $21 billion never hurts to be able to put that. So they're going to have a really good Q1. They also had a really of their renewable fuels portfolio is now the second largest. They have now the second largest diesel facility in Dickinson, and they're progressing their Martinez and repositioning for it. They also announced capital spending of $1.4 billion, and which is a reduction of $350 million from their 2020 levels. Again, Street really like the fact that this Speedway sales, remember, it's going to 7-Eleven now. That $21 billion looks like it's going to close. ConocoPhillips, they were up about 2.65 percentage points at one point, currently trading about 0.6 about 0.6 of a percentage point on the upside. A little bit slightly less of a loss than we were expecting. $800 million, they came in as a net loss, or about 72 cents a share. They were expected to come in their loss was supposed to be about 26 cents a share, so adjusted net loss coming in at 19 cents a share is actually good. They did not provide any revenue figures, but said production excluding Libya was 1.14 million barrels of oil equivalent today. Woo woo! Killing it. Capital budget for 2021, $5.5 billion, $5.1 billion of that, which is used to sustain current production, and $400 million for investments in major projects. That gives you an idea. You've got 1.1 million barrels of oil. It's going to cost you $5 billion to upkeep. Whoop! That's a big number. Again, pre-market, the shares were up 1.2. At one point was up about 2.6 percentage point, but currently falling, trading about 0.6 of a percentage point on the upside. And finally, guys, Exxon Mobil, they come out. We've got two stories on them today. They had earnings per share come in of about 3 cents on revenue of $46.54 billion. Currently, Exxon Mobil shares are up about 1.5 percentage points. Part of the reason why I think you're seeing this, I think part of the reason what you're seeing from Exxon is this, okay? So revenues dropped 30 percentage points. It slightly missed the guidance, as I mentioned, $46.5 billion in revenue. Their guidance was $48.6 billion, but their upstream division did a little bit better. They reported a loss of $18.5 billion versus a gain of $6.1 billion last year. But remember, they wrote down over 20 million in items. So to give you an idea, if they don't write those 20 million, if they don't write that upstream 20 million down, they actually make 1.5 billion, which is good because people were you're gonna have to write. The street would tell you had to write this 20 billion off at some point. The fact that they did it, and they were basically, when you write off, if you make, in this environment, the way the write-offs look, the fact that their net loss was lower than what they actually wrote off, that's a good sign. That means they should have made some money last month or last quarter. It's just on paper they really didn't, because they're writing down for DD&A. This is where you want to talk about subsidies for the oil and gas industry. Well, you're looking at them right there. I get people telling me, the oil and gas industry is subsidized. Well, not really. They can write down a bunch of stuff because, one, they evaluate their stuff wrong, and two, you got rigs, you got all this equipment that everybody can write off stuff like that. So that's partly why I think you're seeing a little positive sentiment for Exxon there. That write down of 20 billion only brings that loss to about 18.5 billion, which, considering the environment they had, I don't like their stuff as much as Chevron's in terms of where they're just located production-wise. So I'm actually positive on that. They maintain their dividend, still taking out debt to pay their dividend, but again, the fact that $20 billion write-down didn't, I think analysts were expecting something a little, maybe in that $25-26 billion range. So it's good to see that net loss only coming in that way. On the same front, they go ahead and announce a new director. Let me see if I get this right. Tan Sir-Wan Zulfikar Wan Arif joins Exxon Mobil board of directors. I won't subjugate that to you again, other than when Tan served from 2015 to 2020 as president and group chief executive of Petronas, the national oil and gas company of Malaysia. So this guy is an industry executive. He led the strategic growth and efficiency initiatives and the company's entry into chemicals during their tenure. Petronas reported multiple years of strong results. He also is really good in terms of the energy transition. And remember, DBE Shaw announced, and Engine One announced an activist campaign. We don't know who was on that list, but I guarantee this was approved by them when they announced this, because as Darren Wood said, in the CEO and chairman of ExxonMobil, said in his quote, his global industry expertise coupled with his insights related to what? The energy transition will complement our highly experienced board. Well, there you have it, folks. It was definitely part of that. With that increase, they'll increase their directors from 10 to 11, 10 of them who are independent. Stu, it is an extremely busy day today. Did we miss anything?
Nope. Just it's been a busy day, dude.
Guys, earnings are going to continue to fall out. Check with the Energy News Beat all week, and we'll keep you up to date with everything happening in the oil against finance space. With that, guys, we're going to let you get out of here, get back to work, finish every day. For Stuart Turley, I'm Michael Tanner. See you guys tomorrow on the Energy Beat.
All right.